Year.
Happy New Year.
We are going to let you know 10 goals that we are setting for 2019. 2019?
It's already 2019.
Do you
in some
remember
parts
when it
of the
turned
world.
2000?
No.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Y2K? Absolutely. I remember that.
So we would love to be walking around the farm and showing you all these different things. So we may put some pictures in here, but we're just going to be sitting here by the fire. And it's New Year's Eve right now.
It's embers, so it's nice and warm. It's not flames burning it up fast. We're happy about that.
What is our #1 goal that we're going to do this year?
Are these in order of importance?
This one is actually
timing?
the most important and the most important and the most
right
important.
Now it is.
And the most important. What is it?
We're going to finish the kitchen. At least finish it enough that we can use it.
We're going to finish the kitchen. Now, I'm not affording brand new appliances right now. We're putting our other appliances right back in there. That's fine. I just want a functioning kitchen. So
with a floor that's level and not having issues.
And no mold.
Mold gone.
Yeah. So
pipes that work.
that's #1. #1.
I think we're gonna make it.
I do too. Where's that? So our #2 is
yeah, and this has a lot to do. This is an immediacy thing.
Is.
I mean, we've got to get this done. We're coming into the rainy season, and so even if it's
the goal is.
I know.
He's building up to it.
Just because I don't want to get committed into things that I don't think we can make happen in the time frame.
I'm letting you say it.
We want to get the property, our yard, landscape, not only our yard but also our field down in the bottom, to where they can drain better. Right now, the water, when it rains a lot, comes into the house or up against the house with pools. We have pictures of that we'll show. And we're also having water pool out in our field. We hadn't really seen it till we cut the grass down low, and now we can see the water.
He walked in this morning and he goes, it's like a rice paddy out there.
So, you know, following a rain, the water runs downhill and fills it up. That, around the house, getting what's coming into the house fixed is going to be easier than the fields down there.
Yes, but I would be super discouraged about that because my brain wouldn't be able to get around, well, how do you drain a pasture? But my favorite book,
They face the same problems.
They faced the same problems. They had a lot of acreage and they had moggy? That's a cool word.
I don't know what it means.
Clay soil, and they drained them. And so we are going to probably make a pond and let all this rain go into the pond. I mean, we have one pond, but we're going to reposition where all the water's going.
We haven't decided how we're doing it. We're investigating. There's some legal requirements. There's some NCRS.
Yes, they're going to help us.
That we have to look into.
Yeah.
So a lot of investigation to get that taken care of, but very important because having standing water is not good for animals, it's not good for crops, and maybe we can use the water. So we just have to figure
it's
it out.
only for 3 months. But
it's an important 3 months because we need to be able to work the land, and if water is sitting there, we can't work it.
Absolutely. So that's #2. #3 is to put a beautiful garden in, and a big garden.
A big garden.
Down where we've got this water.
We may need to shift where the garden is because there are some higher spots.
There are some places we can put it.
But even at that, though, we still don't want the water standing like it is. We'd like to capture some of it and have it run on through. We're back on #2. How do we do that?
Because
it's a big one.
Anyway, #3 is really important to us for several reasons. We want to be able to feed ourselves. I would like nothing more than to not go to a grocery store.
And looking for the organic food that you hope is truly organic, hope is clean, hope is good.
We are very, very excited to have a beautiful garden again. And if you saw our garden in Oregon, you know that we have the ability to have a beautiful garden. And we are very excited to be able to do that.
We definitely have the space and the
So we've been
equipment.
planning it out, and it's going to be amazing. And we will be using the landscape fabric over where the beds are growing and in the aisle for the same reason that Living Traditions has done it, so that we don't have to deal with the ticks and the chiggers so badly in there, so that we can go out and do our garden. So
yeah, the trouble and expense of doing that pays off with what you gain, because you'll be fighting the critters as well as the weeds, and that there are a lot of weeds that grow in Missouri, as we've learned. Number 4, we want to start our elderberry orchard, and this may be a small start, but we are going to get us.
It's going to be a couple hundred feet.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
We're starting somewhere, and we're going to do that soon.
Yeah.
And it does like bottomland. It doesn't want to be wet constantly, but it does tolerate wet bottoms for a while.
Yeah. So we'll see exactly where we end up putting it, but we're still figuring that out. But that's the plan.
Yes.
An elderberry orchard. Right now, primarily for us, the amount of elderberry juice that we need is a lot, and it's going to take several plants. But if we end up with more than we need, then we do have a buyer for what we have in excess. And the beauty about elderberry orchards is that you can expand them from year to year with cuttings out of your own orchard.
So we just have to pay for the cuttings the first year, and then we provide our own.
We're just going to organically grow our
It will be sustainable.
Size. Yes, we're looking forward to that.
Number 5, we are getting a milk cow.
Somehow, some way. What we've seen is 2 different time periods this year. One during the summer when it was so dry that there wasn't grass to be eaten. A lot of people didn't have hay to feed them, and they couldn't afford to do the hay, so they were selling some of their cows very inexpensively. And what we're seeing also now, this time of year, a lot of people are running out of hay, and they don't want to keep the cow during the winter.
And we have this field full of hay because we haven't had animals on it.
So if we had a large herd, like our neighbor has a lot of cows running on his grass, and it's down, well, surely there's nothing left. I don't know what they're eating. He's having to feed them. He's having to supplement.
It's crazy.
Whereas we have a lot of grass. So appropriate number of cows to the amount of grass, and you don't have to go buy.
There are a couple of their little calves that come under and get into our field because the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, it is greener, but they don't eat much.
No, they're cute.
Are they?
Well, they're feisty.
They are.
They got into the horse field of our neighbors, and the horses are just like, "What are you?"
So milk cow is in our future.
Okay, this one is. I'll let you read it so you can talk about it.
That's what we're talking about. Oh, okay. This
is number 6.
This is number 6. I'm just going to say it and I'll explain it. We're going to take 2 of our chicken tractors and convert them into chickshaws.
Now, it won't look exactly like Justin Rhodes.
Yeah, we don't want to lose our chicken tractors, but I see us not using them going into the future. So, as chicken tractors in the same way, they were a lot of work. We want to have our chickens range a little bit further, so having the fence or the net fence around them is how we want to do it, and that way we can let them set in one place for more than a day, more than half a day as they get older. So the moving, there's not as much manual labor on our part, and by doing it into a chickshaw, it's easier to move. It also gives them multiple ways to be safe if there are aerial predators that come in, and then having to be inside and shut up at night, then they're safe from the roving predators, the nighttime predators come around. So it's the best of both worlds. But we're going to do that for our meat birds as well as our layers, and that way we can put them where we need them to help prepare garden beds and to work over garden beds after we're finished with them, so that they can get a lot of the nutrition from there, but then replenish the fertilizer. That's the plan. So
That's
two
the
of
plan.
those being converted. That's going to be fun. I don't have the plans fully detailed out. I've got some rough ideas. I need to get that finalized. But it's going to be less expensive for us to make use of those cages, the chicken tractors, than to start from scratch and build our chickshaws from scratch.
Number 7. I'm excited about this. I love turkeys. We had great turkeys in Oregon.
We both love turkeys. We fell in love with turkeys as a fowl to keep.
Yeah.
They are
and
wonderful.
We are going to take the loafing shed side of where we park our car right now, of our loafing shed is divided in two. This part you can put tractors or your car in, and this part is a loafing shed for horses and stuff like that to go in. We're going to make a corral. I know I know.
Fence. For turkeys, it's going to be a fence. And
we're going to make a really cool house for them, so that, because turkeys like long things that come out that they can roost on, and so we're gonna do.
We're not gonna free range them. They're gonna have a large run,
and we know that they like to fly. The ones we had didn't fly.
No, they didn't.
But those weren't heritage breed.
Right.
So we haven't decided what kind we're getting, but we know we're having turkeys. I would love to have them so that they could breed and that we could, keep turkeys going like that, because we really love turkeys. I love the turkey meat.
And it's an
and
animal.
They're amazing
they're
animal.
Really amazing.
So that's number 7 for our goal this year. I guess I'll do number 8 too.
Okay.
Number 8 is, I've had a book that I have written, goodness. I know there's been at least 3 Christmases where I was hoping I would have it for Christmas and I didn't. So my book is called Tawny the Turtle, and it's a children's book that adults can relate to. It's kind of got a moral to it, and I am going to get it illustrated. Whether he does it, I do it, or we were given the name by one of our subscribers to go and contact some Bluebird, I think, Homestead. And so I'm gonna look into that and see what she might be able to do. And my goal is to have it published this year.
In previous years, we've had a wish that it would get published in time for Christmas. This year, we're setting a goal that we'll have it out and
long before that.
Long before Christmas, but ready that it can be used, and then also as a gift for Christmas.
Yes, yes. Okay, number 9.
We want to take our Heartiness approach teachings, our 12 weeks to Heartiness,
plus
some others. We have an outline that we're working with, but we want to formulate that into a book. We have a plan to do that, and we're setting it as a goal that we are going to publish it this year.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
Big deal.
A lot of work. But we're excited to do it. We think that would be a beneficial thing to have, so we're going to make that happen.
Yeah. And the last thing,
drum roll please,
that we have on our goals is to open up a farm store. What is a farm store? We have on our red barn a tack room. It's actually where we hung the pigs.
Yeah, it was used as a tack room. There's nothing about it that turns it into. There's nothing. It's just 4 walls. Yeah. So it's whatever room you want it to be. But.
So we're going to finish the walls so that they're nice and clean and sanitary, and put a refrigerator in there, and be able to sell things, our eggs and our vegetables, from our farm, so that people can actually drive out and get some of our vegetables and even meat and things like that.
Yes.
So that's one thing that we just really want to do, and in the future years we'll build up on that by having some CSAs.
Yeah, it's not starting as a full-fledged store, fully stocked on and on. It's just going to be a few items,
handcrafted items, soap,
it's going to
candles.
It's going to be a concept,
all
primarily,
homemade stuff,
and it could incorporate having other people's things there to wear, like on a consignment, and that way we can have more. But it's going, instead of us going to the farmer's market, instead of us having a CSA, it's going to be on the farm, come to the farm, see the farm, experience kind of thing. But here's a little store selling farm-related items, things produced on the farm.
And my books can be
And
in
the
there.
books can be there.
Yeah.
It'll just be a fun little store.
Yeah. We have decided that when we do sell to others, we do want it to be in the form of a CSA and not going to a farmer's market.
Yep.
So we did belong to a CSA in Utah, down in southern Utah when we were there, and we went out to the person's home, and it was just such a neat community experience to have everyone come together and get their bags of stuff and things.
Well, her CSA was interesting. She would go to the farmer's market in the morning, sell what she could, and then when she got home from the farmer's market, the people who were part of her CSA would come there and they could get a basket of what was there.
Right. And we had another friend who went to a farmer's market, and she would call around and she said, I have whatever, this is left, so come and get it. And you could just, it was not buy, you still had to buy it, but
yeah,
it was great. So those are our 10 goals for this year. We're gonna put them on the wall, keep them in front of us. There's so many more things we're still working on, but I was told just working on them does not make them a goal.
Having a list of things to do is not a goal. So these are goals. They're smart goals. They're specific. They're measurable. They're all of those things.
All right. So you can share what some of your goals are. If you are a homestead out there and you want to take the challenge and put your goals out there, that would be great.
This is the time of year to share your goals.
So last year we had put a goal, a challenge out to come up with one word for your homestead. We came up with commitment, that we wanted to be committed to being able to find a homestead. We found a homestead.
We met that goal.
Because last year at this time, this was the night,
we driving.
Drove in to Pittsburgh when he had full-fledged flu.
Yeah.
And then we sat there for 3 months before we went crazy. So thank you so much. I do want to say that Heartiness, our 12 Weeks to Heartiness class, we had some great responses today on people wanting more exercise. So Regenerate, Don't Degenerate.
You got it.
Is available starting today.
It's a
and
YouTube
it will be
channel.
5 days a week.
Subscribe if you haven't. There'll be exercises. They're simple exercises. It's more get out of your little chair and get up and move.
Or
that's
sit in your chair if that's all you can do and move.
Yeah.
And be able to do things. Move together. And of course, our 12 Weeks to Heartiness is available. It does come with Mornings Begin with Breakfast cookbook
through January.
And it is, the course is $99 or $30 for 4 months. And
it's a lifetime.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every improvement we make, you will get that. So anyway, thank you. Happy New Year. Hope you all had a fun, safe night last night.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.